What is going on, everyone? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good, because it is good to feel good. Yes, it is. I'm not in my usual setup at the moment, as you can probably tell, and in fact I'll give you a nice little room tour, or lack thereof. So obviously my bed's gone, which would usually be there and I'd sit on. My shelf with all my decorations on it is no longer there. My TV's just moved there for the time being. And what else? My desk's still there. But yeah, just basically, it's a bit bedlam at the moment, and you obviously know why. And that, of course, the reason being that I'm moving house at the moment. In fact, the last time I spoke about it, it was kind of, you know, hoping to get things finalised a little down the line, and sure enough, just this past week, we've got things finalised. We are moving in a few days' time from when I'm recording this video, and it feels a bit weird, so I thought to myself, let's have a little chance to reflect. I've got a bottle of beer, Asahi, as I now know it's called. I've been pronouncing it Asahi all this time, being a complete idiot, but it's Asahi. So, yeah, crack open a beer, cheers, and let's just have a good time. In fact, me drinking alcohol on this channel should become a thing, because at the end of the day, alcohol creates content. And yeah, let's keep it going, I think. But at the same time, oh dear, I'm gonna eat my words or drink my beer for that, because I hate that like, especially when you're on a night. Oh, I've got another beer, by the way. When you're on a night out and that happens, and someone clanks your beer, and it all fizzes up, and it's so horrible. But I just hope, I need to control myself when I did this, because it's happened during my WrestleMania video. I think for me, one of the biggest things that's sunken in for me for this move is just knowing that this is the end of an era, and like how I've lived here for what? We've lived in this house for 14 years now, and in turn, in this local area that I live in, like, I live in one of the villages that's like just on the outskirts of my hometown, and we've lived here in general, overall, for, well, I've lived here for pretty much all my life, and then that's not including like 2 years where I was out in Kuwait, because that's just, even though we still had this house back then, we were just renting it out while we were living there, so technically it still was our house, but just we weren't living in it for the time being. But anyway, like, it just does feel weird, like, and especially leaving my hometown as well. Like, as I say, it is part of my life. Like, it's not just like, you know, a moment in time where I was like, oh, I just suddenly end up here. No, I've been here all my life, and like, especially for my parents, you know, they've lived here for just over 30 years now, and the reason why they chose to go ahead and, you know, put us down for moving, I guess, was because at the end of the day, they're in their mid to late 50s, and they're going to be eyeing up retirement soon, so that's a bit fun for them, and I'm sure retirement has its perks. I mean, I know one day I'll be, in fact, now that I think about it, when I retire, I'll probably be in my 80s, because knowing that, like, the average retirement age is going up or something from what I've heard, but I don't know. I don't know these things, but yeah, just me retiring at 80 would sound a bit awkward, to be honest, but these things happen. So I've lived here pretty much all my life, and it does feel a tad bit weird knowing that we are leaving this place. And especially living in this house, now that I think about it, in the 10 years that I've been doing YouTube, obviously for the first year and a bit I was in Kuwait, where I would upload the odd random clip, but then after that, pretty much all my content, bar, say, vlogs, travels, attending events, being with friends, etc., all my videos have been filmed in this room, and like, obviously there have been many variations of my room, where I remember I would once have my desk over there, and then obviously my current, well, my previous setup now, where I will be sat here. So that just feels weird. None of that is a thing anymore. But you know what, sometimes it's just, you know, a chance to move on, and at the same time I really don't know what my setup's gonna look like when I do move. I mean, I might play about with a few things, I might remove a few things from what I had before, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens when we do get there. So I look forward to all that happening and, you know, setting stuff up. In fact, as I say, I'm going to be doing a moving vlog, or in fact I'm in the process of doing the moving vlog. So when I'm recording this today, it is Monday, we are moving on Wednesday, and tomorrow's Tuesday. Porridge today, Grommet, Tuesday. And obviously I've got stuff like filming bits and bobs and, you know, just getting on and, you know, seeing what progress we were making, especially when it comes to the big day where, now that I think about speaking, I suddenly feel a bit of an echo in this room now that there's nothing in here, or barely anything left in here. But obviously when it comes to the big day, obviously like, it's all kind of all hands on deck, making sure stuff gets done. Like, as much as I love to focus on getting my room all unpacked, obviously that'll take time because I've got to, you know, help unpack stuff out of, well, would I say I have to unpack stuff? I could probably, like, what I think will happen is obviously all stuff will be unloaded from like the moving lorry, and then, well, I assume like the moving crew will do all that. I don't know. It's been a while since I've moved house, although now that I mention it, hopefully it's not as bad as I haven't told this like story before, but when we first moved back from Kuwait back in 2012, obviously when we were, you know, packing up everything in our apartment when we lived there, like we had all sorts that we were packing up, and obviously that would all get shipped off in a container and obviously would get to us within about 6 to 8 weeks. And obviously it came, and thankfully it went through the Suez Canal, but the Ever Given wasn't there at the time, so it didn't get caught in that little shenanigan there that happened in the Suez Canal a month ago. So when it came to the big day, when the container had finally come to us, so on our roads, it's a country road, so obviously heavy goods vehicles aren't intended to come, well, it's recommended that heavy goods vehicles don't come down the road, otherwise it creates major disruptions and, you know, blocks off everything off. So basically the big container, the day comes so it's about what, 9 in the morning when they arrived, and we were basically unloading everything out of the container. It took us about a good solid, I remember it was sunset by the time we'd finished, so, and it was July, so I'd imagine it took us about, I want to say about 10 to 11 hours to get everything unpacked, and there was bloody lots in this container. In fact, is there anything in this room that's from Kuwait now that I think about it? Although saying that, I did have my chest of drawers and my bedside table, obviously they've been moved, but they were from Kuwait, so obviously I can't show you anything that was from Kuwait. But that's a bit kind of mad to think about, you know, all that moving process. That was, like, I don't know why, it has been a while obviously since we've moved, but I'm looking forward to just all this, you know, kind of like, I guess there's something a bit exciting about the process of moving, or the idea of moving. Obviously, you don't really know what you're going to get yourself into at first, but then once you've got there and you've settled down, you're kind of like, this is the new normal, let's see how we get on. And I guess with like everything that's been going on with us at the moment, obviously we don't know what we're kind of in for ourselves when we do move, but one thing it's nice knowing is that, you know, we're in close proximity to, you know, a few places, and, you know, can, you know, make something out of our time there and just have a good time. Another thing I didn't mention is how obviously at my current age, where there's kind of this social expectation that when you get to a certain age, i.e. me at 24, where you'd be likely to have moved into your own place at this point, either that being by yourself or with friends or with a partner or something, or even, and on the off chance, with a family, with a young family. But I haven't got to that point yet. I guess there's something quite nice about still living with your parents. I know, obviously, it like in some aspects it does feel a little bit weird, but at the same time, you know, I can still live here. I've still got a roof over my head, and yes, I do pay rent every month, but that's the price I pay to, you know, have a good time with my parents, still living with them. And I'm sure going forward, obviously, things will still be quite alright when I'm living with them in our new place. Still get to walk Dory, still get to look after the at. And yeah, just some good stuff. Obviously, just so in a way, kind of like the usual stuff that we had before, but just in a different surrounding altogether. That's a bit weird to think about. But another thing that I will kind of miss about here, where I live, is it's just like from when I've been working, and like when I'm recording this, it's just been a week and a half since I left my job at the co-op, and it just feels a tad bit weird. Like, you know, I think for me it really hit me on the day after I finished, where I woke up and it was like, oh, I don't have to go to work today. And pretty much every day since, I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't have to. I mean, it's funny, I still pop into the shop. I don't work there anymore, but there's something about it that's like, I mean, obviously it'll be a part of me. That's a, you know, place where I've made all sorts of like developments for myself, and you know, it's really helped me out in terms of like, you know, building my confidence going forward, and you know, being proactive, and at the same time where I've been able to fund, you know, stuff for like traveling, etc. And I will miss it there, but at the same time I'm looking forward to doing something new. And at the moment I'm in the process of applying for some new jobs, and while nothing is concrete just yet, fingers crossed something will come along nicely. And then obviously from when I work there, you know, at the moment where we've got like, you know, lockdown being eased out, and hopefully with all, if all goes to plan by the 21st of June, then we'll have all sorts of freedoms. And you know, I'm quite looking forward to the idea of just, you know, being around friends again. In fact, just this past week I got a chance to see my friend Coral. I didn't vlog anything because, you know, it was just a nice little friendly catch up. You didn't need any cameras there, but you know, it was nice to see her. And at the same time, if all goes to plan by the 21st of June, sesh. We're all about the sesh, and I'm very excited for that. I don't know what we'll have planned, but I can imagine it will involve some alcohol, so all good at the end of the day. But yeah, no, just, I think going back to where I work is, I think one thing I will miss is like just the friendliness, the friendly nature of the customers. And like, I remember putting out this post just on the day that I finished, actually. You know, I was saying, you know, end of an era. I'm just, you know, saying thank you to all the friendliness of like customers and like colleagues that I've worked with in the past. In fact, I'm just gonna search up this post that I put out on our local village group where I thanked everyone, and it's always just nice to like kind of look back and see all the comments. So okay, so I've just found the post. I'm just gonna read a few random comments, like just at random. Ollie, you are a rare find, my friend. Obviously I'm not doing a virtue list, but I will say this. I am certain that you will bring something much needed and quite special to wherever you pause on your non-stop journey. Go forth. No one should have you for too long. You will be missed by us all. Good luck, Ollie. You will be so missed. Your happy smiling face and banter, and always polite and helpful wherever you go. They will be lucky to have you. Lovely guy. Best wishes and good luck and all. Best of luck. Thank you for all your help and politeness when I couldn't find what I was looking for on many occasions. Always very helpful. All the very best. Make sure you will be successful in whatever and what you move on to do. All the very best. And anyone who can work with Julie, one of my colleagues, needs a medal as well. I do love the banter of some of these comments. And I think one thing I really like from that post is like knowing the appreciation of customers and like, you know, their kind words and that. And like, you mean when you work in a place like this, I know it's kind of the definition of like an easy job that anyone could do it, but obviously like some people really take it to heart and, you know, really go out of the way. Like I feel like I have gone out of my way to, you know, make it, you know, make my role my own and, you know, leave a mark and, you know, really be friendly, polite towards customers. Obviously I know you get the few odd instances where you have, you know, problematic people who you have to deal with, and yes, while it is challenging at some cases, I always like to keep my cool. I always like to stay cool, calm and collected, be polite. Obviously if they start getting rough, obviously I won't get rough on them back because that's not in my nature to do so, but you know what, that kind of aspect of what I've done is in the past, and I mean I can imagine myself going back to it in the future. I mean if worse comes to worse, but knowing what I do going forward, obviously, as I say, I haven't got a new job just yet, but fingers crossed we will have something down the line, and also at the same time looking forward to just being in this new place as well, and just, you know, knuckling down, all that. But all's gonna be fun, I think, and I think that's where I'm gonna leave you today, because I don't really know what I planned out with this video, because whenever I kind of brainstorm videos, I usually talk to myself and kind of give myself an idea of what I'm going to say in my videos, and then when it comes to recording, it's then the case of, oh, what am I saying? Oh, I've got to make something up on the spot. But and then also on the odd occasion having notes written down as well, which I may look at sometimes and be like, oh, what am I saying? That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I guess, you know, looking forward to this fresh start in a way. Looking forward to, you know, getting myself knuckled down, you know, doing something new, and just see how life goes forward from there. And that is where I will leave you today. So I'm going to finish off my beer. I'm also going to leave you with some advice, and that is always to, hold on, that looks a bit wrong now that I think about it. But anyway, I'll leave you with some advice, and that is always to enjoy yourself, stay safe, and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. Thank you for watching, and peace.